Letting go doesn't mean you're denying the pain. It means you're refusing to let the pain define you. It means you've decided that what's behind you can't compare to what's ahead of you. You can't heal in the same environment that broke you. Sometimes God will close a door, not because He's punishing you, but because He's protecting you. You may not see it now, but the same hand that allowed the door to shut is the same hand that's leading you towards something greater. When you stop fighting what you can't change, you start experiencing peace that doesn't make sense. You stop waking up with anxiety over something that's already finished. You stop questioning every detail and start resting in the truth that God is still in control. You can't change the betrayal, but you can change how you respond to it. You can't rewrite the past, but you can rewrite your attitude about it. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is to accept that it's over. To release the why and embrace the what's next. But that's exactly where healing begins. Healing begins in the quiet decision to stop replaying the pain and start trusting promise. It begins when you say, God, this hurt me, but I believe you can still use it. It begins when you choose to forgive. Not because they deserve it, because you deserve peace. Maybe you've been through something that left you questioning God. Maybe you're still holding on to anger, regret, or disappointment. But can I tell you something? Every tear you've cried, every sleepless night, every broken prayer, it wasn't wasted. God saw it all. He's not ignoring your pain. He's redeeming it. What you thought was the end was just the beginning of a new chapter. You can trust Him with what you don't understand. When you stop fighting what you can't change, you make space for God to do what only He can do. You stop trying to fix things that were never yours to fix. You stop carrying burdens that were never meant for your shoulders. Jesus said, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." That's not just a suggestion, it's an invitation. Rest doesn't mean the situation is solved. It means your soul has found peace even in the middle of it. The healing you're praying for may not come in the form of answers. It may come in the form of peace. Sometimes God won't explain why it happened because He's more focused on what it's producing in you. He's building resilience, compassion, and a deeper faith. He's teaching you how to depend on Him, not on what you lost. When you stop fighting what you can't change, stop wasting energy on the past, start investing it into your future, you start realizing that every disappointment was divine direction. Every closed door was protection. Every delay was preparation. You may not have chosen the pain, but you can choose what it produces. You see, the pain you're carrying isn't proof that God has abandoned you. It's proof that you're still alive, that your heart still beats, that your purpose still calls your name. The wound may be deep, but so is His grace. The loss may be real, but so is His love. And when you finally stop fighting what you can't change, you'll discover that healing was never about forgetting what happened. It was about finding peace in the middle of it. So don't let what you can't control you. Don't keep asking questions that don't have answers. Don't give more power to the past than it deserves. The moment you stop resisting and start releasing, God begins restoring. The very thing that once made you cry will one day make you stronger. The thing that hurt you most will become the testimony that helps someone else heal. Healing begins when you stop fighting what you can't change. When you finally lay it down and say, God, I trust you with this pain. You'll feel the weight lift off your shoulders. You'll start to see glimpses of joy again. You'll begin to dream again. Because you'll realize that the same God who walked you through the valley will be the one who leads you to the mountain. And when you look back one day, You won't see what you lost. You'll see what you gained. You'll see the strength that grew out of your sorrow, the wisdom that came from your wounds, and the peace that came from letting go. That's when you'll truly understand that healing doesn't begin when the pain ends. It begins when you stop fighting what you can't change and trust the one who can make beauty from ashes. We often believe that before we can take another step, before we can smile again, before we can dream again, we have to be completely healed. We tell ourselves, when I stop hurting, then I'll move forward. When I feel strong again, then I'll start living again. But life doesn't wait for perfect healing. God doesn't wait until every scar fades before He moves you towards your destiny. Sometimes you have to move forward while you're still. You have to take steps even when your heart still feels heavy. There's a story in the Bible about a man who had been lying by the pool of Bethesda for 38 years, waiting to be healed. When Jesus saw him, He didn't ask, "Are you ready to be whole?" He asked, "Do you want to be made well?" The man began to explain why he couldn't, how the timing was never right, how others always got ahead of him. But Jesus didn't need the man to feel ready. He just needed him to respond. Jesus said, "Get up, pick up your mat, and walk." And that's what God is saying to some of us today. You don't have to wait until you stop hurting to get up. You don't have to wait until you have it all together to move forward. You don't have to wait until the fear is gone to take the next step. If you'll just move in faith, God will meet you there. Sometimes the miracle isn't that God removes the pain. It's that He gives you the strength to walk through it. You may not feel whole, but that doesn't mean you're not being healed. The moment you start walking by faith, even with your wounds, something begins to shift in your spirit. Every step you take out of your pain and towards your purpose invites God's presence to fill the empty spaces inside you. Think about David when he said, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil." Notice that he walked through it. He didn't stay there. He didn't give up in it. And he didn't run from it. He kept walking. Sometimes walking is all you can do, and that's enough. You may not see the light yet, but if you keep moving, you're getting closer to it. The valley may still feel dark, but God is walking right beside you. You don't need to have it all figured out to move forward. You don't have to have every answer, every emotion settled, or every scar closed. Healing is a process, not an event. Some days you'll feel strong, and other days you'll feel fragile. But every day, God's grace is enough for both. He doesn't ask you to be perfect. He asks you to keep trusting Him. When a child is learning to walk, they fall over and over again. But every time they fall, they get up a little stronger. Their legs grow steadier, their steps become surer. That's what faith looks like. You may stumble, but you're still growing. You may cry, but you're still moving. You may not be where you want to be, but you're not where you used to be either. Every step, no matter how small, is progress. Don't let your feelings dictate you. You may feel broken, but God still calls you blessed. You may feel weak, but He still calls you chosen. Chosen. You may feel empty, but He still has a purpose for your life. God doesn't wait for your feelings to align before He begins to restore you. In fact, He often works the most when you feel the least capable. His strength is made perfect in your weakness. You might be thinking, "But I still cry when I think about what happened." That's okay. That's okay. Tears don't mean you're failing. They mean you're healing. Every tear is washing away a piece of the pain. Every prayer you whisper through trembling lips is another seed of faith planted in your future. You don't have to pretend you're fine. You just have to keep going. God never said the path to healing would be painless, but He did promise it would be purposeful. Sometimes He allows you to walk with a limp so you'll never forget who carried you through. Like Jacob, who wrestled with God and walked away limping. But that limp became a reminder of the moment he encountered grace. What you call a weakness, God can turn into a testimony. The scars you carry today may one day be the proof that God brought you through what should have broken you. You don't have to wait for closure to move forward. Some people may never apologize. Some questions may never be answered. Some endings may never make sense. But that's okay. Closure is not always something others give you. Sometimes it's something you decide for yourself. You choose to say, I'm done giving power to what hurt me. I'm done living in the shadows of my past. I'm walking toward peace, even if I have to do it with tears in my eyes. When you move forward while you still hurt, it's one of the most powerful acts of faith you can make. It tells the enemy, you didn't win, you knocked me down. I'm still getting up. I may not have all the pieces, but I still have my purpose. I may be broken, but I'm still breathing. And as long as I'm breathing, God's not finished. But you may not feel whole right now, but God can use your brokenness to reach places a perfect life never could. People are drawn to authenticity, to the kind of faith that says, I'm not okay yet, but I'm still trusting. That's where real strength is found. Not in pretending everything is fine, but in pressing forward while it's not. There's a version of you that's waiting on the other side of this pain. You may not see it yet, but that version is stronger, wiser, and more compassionate than you've ever been. You'll look back one day and realize that what felt like breaking was actually God building something inside you. So don't wait for the pain to be gone before you take that next step. Don't wait to feel strong before you start again. Healing doesn't mean the absence of pain. It means the presence of hope. You can move forward even with a broken heart because you're not moving alone. The same God who saw you cry in the dark will walk with you into the light. You don't have to feel whole to move forward. You just have to take one more step, one more prayer, one more moment of trust. Because every small act of faith in the middle of your hurt is proof that God's healing power is already at work in your life. We often hear the phrase, "A time heals all wounds." But the truth is, time alone doesn't heal. God does. You can let weeks, months, even years pass by and still feel the sting of what you went through. There are hurts that no calendar can fix, no routine can erase, and no distraction can silence. Time may dull the memory, but only God can touch the heart. Only His presence can reach the places that still ache when no one else understands. Some people try to bury their pain under busyness. They fill every hour, every day, with work, noise, or relationships, so they won't have to sit still long enough to feel what's broken. Others close themselves off. They shut people out. Build walls. Pretend they're fine, even when they're silently falling apart inside. But ignoring pain doesn't make it go away. It just buries it deeper. The more you hide it, the more it grows in silence. God never intended for you to carry your pain alone. That's why Jesus said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Rest doesn't just mean physical relaxation. It means relief for your soul. It means peace in the places where you've been restless for too long. And the beautiful thing is, God isn't waiting for you to have it all together before you come to Him. He invites you as you are. Broken, hurting, confused, angry, or afraid. He doesn't need your perfection. He wants your honesty. There are things time can't explain. Betrayals that don't make sense. Losses that never feel fair. Heartbreaks that seem to linger. You may wonder, why hasn't it gone away yet? Why do I still feel this pain after all this time? The answer in Christ. He's the only one who can reach into the places that even you can't fully understand. He knows every layer of your pain, every unspoken tear, every hidden scar. When you bring your hurt to him, you're not talking to someone who guesses how you feel. You're talking to someone who knows. David said, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." That means when you're at your lowest, God is actually the closest. When you feel forgotten, He's the most attentive. When your heart feels shattered into pieces, He's gently holding each fragment in His hands. God doesn't rush your healing. He restores you layer by layer, moment by moment, until the pain that once defined you becomes the testimony that refines you. Maybe you've tried to heal on your own, thinking, if I just give it more time, I'll stop hurting. But every time something reminds you of that season, the wound feels fresh again. That's because some hurts are too deep for time to heal. They require divine surgery. God doesn't just cover your wounds. He goes to the root of them. He removes the poison of resentment, the infection of bitterness, the ache of rejection, and replaces them with peace. There are moments in your healing when you'll have to let God do what you can't. You can't rewrite the past, but He can redeem it. You can't erase the memory, but He can remove the sting. You can't make them apologize, but He can help you forgive. True healing doesn't come from time passing. It comes from your heart opening. God is not intimidated by your pain. He's not disappointed by your tears. In fact, every tear you cried has been counted. Every sleepless night has been seen. He knows the weight of what you've carried, and He's not asking you to pretend it didn't hurt. He's asking you to trust Him with it. Healing doesn't always mean the pain disappears. Sometimes it means the pain loses its power. You may still remember what happened, but it won't control you anymore. You may still feel a scar, but it won't define you. That's what it means when God heals what time can't. He doesn't erase you, He redeems it. What once was a source of shame becomes a source of strength. What once broke you becomes the reason someone else finds hope. There's a moment in the Bible where Jesus appears to His disciples after His resurrection. He could have come back with a perfect, flawless body. But instead, He chose to keep the scars in His hands. Why? To show that healing doesn't mean there are no marks. It means the marks no longer hurt. The scars are proof of survival, proof of victory, proof that what tried to destroy you didn't win. When God heals what time can't, He gives you new vision. You begin to see purpose in your pain. You start to realize that what felt like the end was actually the beginning of a deeper relationship with Him. You see how your heartbreak, how your faith grew stronger through loss, how your hope became unshakable through disappointment. What once made you weep will one day make you worship. Don't rush your healing. Don't force yourself to move on before God has finished His work in you. There's no timeline in grace. Some seasons of healing take longer than others, but that doesn't mean God isn't working. Every day you wake up and keep believing. Every day you choose peace over bitterness. Every day you trust instead of fear. That's healing. It may be slow, but it's sacred. Let God into the places you've kept hidden. Tell Him about the moments you don't talk about. Show Him the wounds you've learned to hide. He already knows, But when you open your heart, you invite His power into your pain. He doesn't just want to fix you, He wants to restore you, strengthen you, and remind you that what's ahead of you is still greater than what's behind you. And so today, instead of giving time the credit for healing, give it to God. Time can pass, but only God can restore. Time can move forward, but only God can move hearts. Time may dull the memory, but only God can bring meaning out of it. What time couldn't heal, God can transform into beauty, peace, and purpose. He's the healer of broken hearts, the restorer of lost hope, and the lifter of weary souls. If you'll let Him, He'll take what still hurts and turn it into something that helps others heal. The pain that time couldn't erase, God will use as proof of His grace. Because when you let God heal what time can't, you'll discover that nothing you've been through is wasted. Not one season, not one scar. He's still the God who makes beauty from ash, joy from sorrow, and purpose from pain. Time can't heal your heart, but the one who made it can. There comes a moment in every season of pain when you have to make a choice. Will I stay in what hurt? Or will I trust God enough to move forward? Healing doesn't mean forget it, and it doesn't mean the pain never happened. It means you've decided that what broke you will not define you. It means you've chosen to believe that your story isn't over, that there's still beauty waiting beyond the brokenness. You may still have days when it hurts, moments when the memories flood back, times when the ache feels fresh again. But remember this, pain doesn't mean God has left you. It means you're human, and you're still healing. The same God who saw your tears, who heard your cries in the midnight hour, who carried you through the days you thought you wouldn't make it, He's still with you now. Moving on when it still hurts isn't about denying your feelings. It's about declaring your faith. It's standing in the middle of the storm and saying, "This hurts, but I'm still going to trust you. I don't understand it, but I know you're working. I'm not whole yet, but I'm still walking forward." There's strength in every step you take. There's victory in every tear you surrender. There's purpose in every season of pain. God is not wasting any part of what you walk through. Every heartache, every delay, every disappointment, it's all being woven into something greater than you can see right now. One day you'll look back and realize that what once broke you became the foundation for your strength. You'll thank God not just for the doors He opened, for the ones He closed. You'll see that the hurt you carried was actually shaping the heart that could handle your destiny. So lift your head, even if it still hurts. Take a deep breath and remind yourself, God's not finished with me yet. You may be walking through pain, but you're walking with His presence. You may still have scars, but they're proof that you survived. And as you keep trusting, keep forgiving, and keep moving, you'll step into a peace that time couldn't give you, and a joy that pain couldn't take away. You're not walking away from what hurt you. You're walking toward what's next. Because the same God who allowed the wound is the one who will bring the healing. And when you finally see what He was preparing you for, you'll understand that every tear had purpose, every setback was set up, and every pain was producing something powerful inside of you.